Hey, you people. I had a question of what the stag deer on the wall behind me in some of my videos means. And it means nothing to me. It's just insulation. There was no electricity and insulation when my grandpa built this house. And there was no highway there either. And so it's just to quiet the noise down mainly. And I don't care for symbolism. I don't wear jewelry. I don't care what my shirt says. I shop at the Goodwill and I find some soft cotton. If I like the feel, that's it, I try to get light colors for the summer and dark for the winter. So, who thinks they know what Presbyterian means? This is the Cartouche of King Tut. And so they read in this here, T-U-T, Toot, Onk, E, Men, Tutonk, E, Men, Tutonk, in, Men, in. And I read this as an X, meaning it's Presbyterian chief. When the Romans interpreted this, they read this as an N, and I don't know what they call this, but it's easy to see it's a butter churn. And so out of all these symbols here, this has the deepest meaning. And this here is like a I-A-N on the end of a word, meaning that person. And you can see in this, it's the same, but it better explains that this is the ancient game of Senate, is where your word men come from. You can see it fairly plainly here. So you're not going to find the true information about this for the sole purpose, it's in the name hieroglyphic. And you can see in Gardner's sign list, he's got the most complete, just calls it a column and has no other information on it. And what he knows about this crook is it represents the HQ, headquarters, and the H is Chet and the Q is F. That's where you get your word chief from, the ruler, headquarters. And so he's the Presbyterian chief. And so none of these Egyptologists, they can read this. They don't have a clue. And it's here in the word, hieroglyph comes from the Greek adjective of hieroglyphikos, like. And so it comes from a compound word of hieros, which means sacred. And it means only the priests are going to know how to read this. So whatever they tell you is going to be a lie. It's all secret. And this hieros is the exact same spelling you're going to find in the Greek for Jerusalem, J-E-R-O-S, gyros, to spin. And so to spin the glyphos, that means they know the secret knowledge to get the actual reading from the glyphos, from the carved, from the engraved. And that's why all your Egyptologists, they come out with these names that you can't pronounce, and these stories is unbelievable. So the best information you're going to get on these hieroglyphs was written by this Ibn Washia back in the 9th, 10th century. And remind me to leave you a link to this book. It's the hieroglyphs in Arabic language, and a lot of it's interpreted in English. But yeah, if I forget, remind me to leave you a link down there. It's from 1806. It's a free book. But the Presbyterian would look like this. It would be the butter churn here to press butter. And he would be holding the flail here. And that's the I-A-N. It means that type of person, I-A-N. And I think it was the I-U-N is what the 3-letter representation of that would be. But, pressing butter is an ancient job. First you churning all the curds, and you're stroking this up and down slowly. And it was old people were better at this. Fast people, they try to get it done. Young people try to get it done fast. They move too fast. No, you just use a slow stroke, like old people screwing. And that's why in the Greek, this presbyterio is said to be the elders. And it's to press the butter, to press butter. So this would be the symbol of the Presbyterian cross, the pressed butter and cross. And the final letters that change, the adverb or the adjective change the meaning. So this word butter is believed to be derived from the Greek butteron, to press the butteron. And this in English was the churn, or the chiron, or the colonel, the one who's in charge, the elder. And Rameses was also a Presbyterian. While a young woman was churning butter, Satan would visit her and put evil thoughts in her mind, and she would think of sin. And it was called churning butter with the devil. And you'll find these symbols. These are old Egyptian symbols. You'll find them in that old book. And you'll find this old medieval cat churning the butter in several old books. So this butter churn, it looks like this on the bottom of this handle. They just move it up and down slowly, and the milk works its way through. And all you're doing is trying to pull up the curd and separate the curd from the liquid. And then you put it in this press butter in. Or you could just dump off the liquid. Some had a spout on it. And you could change your heads and press your butter right there in the churn. So instead of printing on your packaging, you just go ahead and print your seal right there in the butter press. And you can see here, this is the Jerusalem, and the Hyros L tongues. M means plural, the Hyros language. And these Presbyterian churches are known for their Presbyterian towers. You can see that here. It's called a butter churn tower, and the top will be smaller. The roots of Presbyterianism lie in Reformation and trace their history back to Scotland. So it's fairly easy to see that hieroglyph represents a butter churn, and you can see why the cat would be wanting to churn the butter. And sometimes it's colored to show the action that's going on in there. So I had read the first part of this song in Revelation 19, the rejoicing in heaven. These first couple lines I read in a movie the other day. And I was wanting to go on and read some more of this. And I know it's everybody's biggest question, the marriage of the Lamb goes into the next part of the song. And then it goes into the rider on the white horse. And I know that's everybody's biggest question there. And I learned that this Greek has this mark the same as the Hebrew has that wall in it where you read it backwards. And so they are pretty slick in the Greek too. But it talks about the Antichrist in here, and the beast, and his vision of heaven, what he learned in heaven, what he saw. And then it talks about the defeat of the beast and the false prophet. And this is what I want to show you, is this false prophet, this definition. So this word for false prophet is pseudo, and then prophet has. This filled a lot of information. It let me understand why I was telling you a story about the old Greek man told my name, that Pishu was an honorable name. And that's where your word peace come from. That's where your peace sign come from right there. Oh, peace sign. And when it's wore upside down, it means that they have got this word turned all upside down. It simply means a fictitious name, especially one used by an author. Well, that's the whole Bible. The whole Bible is pseudonyms. Most every book you read is a pseudonym for the author's name. Every one of them. But the Greek has got this twisted into false. And I'm going to prove that's wrong right here, right quick. It's just another name. So the first thing they do is they try to tell you that the P is silent and it's just a pseudonym. So why do we put the P in there? Why not just use a S? So this word comes up 11 times, and 2 times in Revelation like this, and 5 times, it just changes the last couple letters. So if you come over here, it only comes up to R here. If you come over here and shrink it down some, You get the whole alphabet all the way to omega here, and it'll give you all the words that start with this psi. And then you can blow it back up. So all the words that start with the psi and then the AL, are all psalms. Psalms I will sing, all happy things, until you get down to the EU. And if you go to the bottom, it's psi OX, psi OM, psi UX, rubbing, I give away, morsel, feed, lives, cold, natural, the psyche, the psychic, the soul, the life, the cold, everything with psi U. Then psi it, gossips, crumbs, psi itch, crumbs, psi L, being touched, to touch. And it's just when it gets to the psi EU, the peace who. Peace EU, is HU, who. The peace who sits. The peace who sit has is a liar. Everything with the EU after the psi is going to be liar, lied, falsehood, falsehood. It tells me this old peace who dude, they didn't like him worth a damn. Peace who do. The peace who do forfeit on. The peace who do forfeit to. The peace who do forfeit on. These are these different words of prophet. PROQHTEN. And so it's the majority of the words starting with psi. The EU comes after. It's all liars and prophet. False prophets. False witness, lying. Do lie, liars. The Sudis, false. The false brothers, the pseudo-Delphius, false apostles, the pseudo-apostola. And as soon as it gets up to the AL, then it changes. So when I read this line about the white horse and the beast, and the taking the beast and the false prophet, I just want to let you know that this peace you, this is the peace who do. The peace who do. And that's a false prophet because they never want peace. Once we have world peace, we got to go into Zionism because they're not going to be able to control us the way they do now. So this marriage of the Lamb is still part of that song up there, and it's coming down again, and it's acapella again. The one, just one, acapella, just one, without all the band. And then he's giving instructions how to play the phone as the phone and Bronton loudly is such whereon is such whereon Legion tune alla Louis, alla brave in a 2-2 beat, in a 2-4 beat. And then this word hot, this is hot as in old game, I don't remember the name of it, when you hide something and somebody looks for it and you tell them if they're getting hotter or colder, hot, and hot is at. The hotter you get is when you're at it, hot. The hot make when you're at it. The vessel who's in. The vessel who's in. When you're at the vessel who's in. And so it's all part of that song, and they gone back to raid the town is what this part of the song is. So this, the marriage is gamos, polygamy, many wives. But this is the game as, helt in see game as too. And to the Lamb is to, and this final U is a W-A-R-N, to warn, Y-O-U. The game is to warn you, marriage of the Lamb. To see the game is to warn you. Which gyne, the gynecology, which gyne, which pussy, what to hat. When I got here, I was talking about the hat he wears, you know, the hat, Hal Mason. And so I looked up this word for hat is, and I checked everywhere where it comes up, and I learned a lot about who's wearing what hat. You know, the corrupter was the hat with the feather in. And at the end of this marriage of the Lamb is eager. Eager the martyr they. Eager martyr ya. Each so. You know, eager to martyr. We're not going to shut up. We're going to get right up there and say what we know. Each so is den. This is where your word destiny comes from. And it means east in. Everything that you're going to see during the day, it comes up from the east. It's your future. The east end is the future. Destiny. The destined. The east end. To the winds, those propheties. You know, prophet they as. And then this rider on the white horse, you know what a white horse is. White horse is cocaine. Well, this isn't cocaine. It's talking about another drug, the rider on the white horse, and giving some instructions here. And that's why it comes up to this arrow where everything reads backwards. People didn't know this, didn't understand it. And then after he takes his trip on the white horse, in the white pure, the linen white pure, and out of his mouth goes forth the sword. The sword is the Rome mafia. This is where your word mafia come from. Rome mafia, the who's controlling it. And then upon the robe and upon the thigh of him a name having been written. This isn't B, this is V, the vessel. The vessel eyes, vessel on. And carry as, carry on. And so he done seen heaven, he done did some DMT. He smoked some DMT. And he seen heaven, he seen what was going on, and the vessel eyes, vessel on. And the carry as, carry on. Carry on, that's Navy for go about your way. And then it's defeat of the beast and the false prophet. And that's going to be a long movie. I'm going to do that next. So if you saw my last movie about Yankee Doodle, you might have seen that old macaroni from Macaroni. He got a big old head. He kind of looks like he's wearing the old crown of Hedget, the crown of Upper Egypt. And if you didn't see it, make sure you watch it. Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.